everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Marcy and this is Creator's Call. I love to make journals and do other paper crafting projects, and I love sharing those ideas with you. We're back at it again with this journal, and I wanted to show you some of the progress I've made. I did go back and cut down the pages so they looked a little bit better. Today we're going to be working on trying to attach the spine, but first we need to pick some fabric to cover it, and I've picked out several choices, so we're going to go through that. We're going to be using some of this cool bookbinding tape that I've ordered. I've been itching to use this after my recent experience with helping my daughter Camille as a backroom librarian assistant. I really kind of got hooked on some of these book tapes. So I just ordered this off of Amazon, and this is, I think, the 2-inch wide. I like it because it has a bit of a fabric feel. So we're going to use that to attach the spine today, which is something I've never used before. I usually use Tyvek, so let's see how that goes and see how it turns out. I think that'll be nice to have. I primarily bought it so I could repair some of my own books around the house now that I know how. So we're going to work on that, and then if there's time, we'll see what else we want to do. Before we get started though, I would like to say hello and warm welcome to those who have recently supported me on my Ko-fi site. So thank you to Donna, Ronald, Joe, and someone who wanted to remain anonymous, the anonymous donor. I appreciate you guys supporting me over on my Ko-fi shop and purchasing some of my digitals and things. If you haven't had a chance to check out my Ko-fi site, please do so. It's linked down below. I transitioned there from Etsy somewhere around the beginning of this year, I believe it was. And traffic is slow. You have to do a lot of your own promoting, so please go check it out. You can support me there. You can purchase journals. I have a few free digitals, and I have a few digitals that you could purchase that are just a little bit different, things that I've shown on this channel. And so it's a great way to show your appreciation for my work here on YouTube. So that's enough of the high pressure salesmanship. Let me show you where I got to on this. I'm not gonna lie, asking for money and stuff, or asking for support, or asking to have you buy my products makes me really uncomfortable, but at the same time, I am making journals to sell, so, you know, there's a balance. So here it is with the pages trimmed down. I trimmed them down quite a bit. I really do think that this looks really good, all put together. And of course, once again, I changed out some pages, including which paper is going to wrap the second signature, because when I was watching it back on camera last week's video, look at how much better the greens, there's a little bit of yellow in here, I don't know if you could tell, but it really picks up the greens and background underlying golds of that photo there, partly because it's from 1957. But I just think with the green and then the green of the trees and things seemed like a better fit to me. And then the other piece I think I will use as maybe pockets on the inside of this or something like that. So that's how that looks. This is going to be a 2.5-inch spine. I've already cut it. The other thing that I realized when I was looking at those pages is that this cover is actually 7 by 10. It's actually 10.5. So I had cut the pages to be 14 inches wide by 10. The height was okay, but the width was actually the same width of the, you know, when you fold the paper in half, once it's 14 inches wide, you fold it in half, it is 7 inches. So they needed to be trimmed down an inch or inch and a half. It just kind of depended on how it looked. So I just kept trimming till it looked right. So there you go. No great science there, but you do have to account for the space that you have inside, so your pages don't end up sticking out of the cover, and that is something I tend to forget quite often. And then as you build your signatures up, the pages more to the middle of the signature are going to stick out a little further than the pages on the outside of the signature, and so you end up trimming them a little bit more than you would the pages out here. So like if this page, I had trimmed it down to 6.5, the ones towards the middle I was trimming to about 6.25, just so they lined up right. Let's figure out which fabric we like the best. I tried to keep in mind the main colors of this journal. So I had the green, I was trying to pull in some pinks and purples, and I kept that in mind. Also keeping in mind that she's not a super frou-frou girl, but that this journal seems to be leaning a little more botanical. And the color on this cover is a little bit different. So I didn't want something super bright or super flowery, but we're just gonna see if anything just really stands out to us. This brings in the pink color. And I was trying to not, I'm trying to find patterns that weren't too over the top. I'm not sure that I really like that one. So let's call that a no. I'm kind of hoping this one works, but we'll see. This one is kind of a knit, which I've never done a spine with knit, but that is quite striking, isn't it? That's a possibility. Usually I wrap the fabric around this piece here. This is not long enough to do that with, so what I would have to do is figure out some way to do something or doctor these ends so they don't show through, and then just have my fabric. I would cut 2 strips and glue them, one to the outside, one to the inside. I might be able to just fold over the inside piece and then just cut the outside piece. I guess that would work. Usually I try to wrap it. So I do kind of like how that one looks. This is one that I thought might be a contender because it has all the colors that we're working with in it. It is a little girly, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I do like the colors. I like it for me. Not sure that it's so white. I'm not sure it really actually goes with this kind of I don't even know what you would call this, a muddy gold. Not sure that's quite right. So let's set that one aside. This one I also really like because it pulls in the purples and some gold that's in the cover, and it's really big and bold. Let me turn it this way so the selvage doesn't knock up against this, but look at that. That's really pretty, isn't it? And it's a little bit darker, but look at how nicely that matches this. And then we still have the purple and the green and pinks. They're just toned down. They're a lot more muted, or I guess you could even call them grungy. Okay, that's a possibility. I have this one, which is just the green, and it's okay. I mean, it's not overdone. I like these little marks. I don't know, they kind of remind me of like sesame seeds or something. It doesn't really pop though. It just looks kind of blah. And then the last one I brought down here to try was this green. Because I wanted to bring in the green. I want to see this through your side, the side that you guys are seeing it through. Yeah. I think it's going to be one of these two. So I do really like this. I think that's just lovely. It's kind of an interesting fabric to cover things with, right? An interesting color palette. If I lay this on there and this on there, let's see. I ended up switching around a couple papers too, because this way now I have 19 sheets in each signature. I was trying to see if I could take any out, but I still just really like the way it works. Now see the darkness here and the butterfly. I mean, that would work. I've been watching a really fascinating series by Kathleen Maurer. I like to watch her stuff. And she's been doing a series on different styles of journals and what makes them that style, like how to explain it. Right now, she's doing eclectic journals and talking about how to make your colors and the flow of the journal. And I mean, I tend to lean a little more eclectic. I like it. It's part of what draws me to junk journaling. And so it's been really interesting to just learn how the colors play together and how to choose things that kind of coordinate, and yet it's still eclectic with no no overall theme. It's kind of like decorating your house. All right, let's try that one then. And as I leaf through here, ooh, that's so pretty. Gosh, this is a toughie. Now see, like, I've got some glare, sorry. These colors, and up in here. My third signature, as I put it together, ended up with a lot of brown and green in it. This one has more purple in it. The middle signature, I'm not really sure what I would describe it as. You know? Let me try this here with the other two just to see. I like the boldness of the pattern. So it's kind of botanical and it is kind of feminine, but without being overtly because of the dark colors. And it does have the colors of what we are using in the journal with it. So let's see. I got a really good comment too on the video about the Mamagami pages, making the Mamagami, and that was because I was using scented lotion. Some people do have issues with scent, and some people have chemical sensitivities. So if you decide to do that technique and it's for a journal that you're giving away, make sure that your recipient, or if you're trying to sell it, just make sure that the person receiving it is not going to have difficulties with the aroma or the scent from the lotion, because that can really be murder on some people's systems, you know. They can get really sick from it. So I do know of a couple of people with multi-chemical sensitivity, and so that's just something that in this day and age where we have a lot of chemical and glue and things holding our furniture together and in our products, it's becoming more of a problem because people can't always handle that. So here is where, this is signature 3, and I was talking about the browns and the greens. How does that look with that? I do kind of like it. I am leaning towards this big bold pattern. It's not green, but there's green in here. You know, lots of green in the pages. And it has this gold that ties in with the cover and some of these pages as well. Ooh, look at that, see? Oh, yeah, you know. I think I found my winner. I'm going to declare this the winner. Now, what I want to do, since this is going to be, let's get this to where you guys can see it. This is a 2.5 inch spine, and we've got a little bit of space where we're gonna allow the book to turn, the pages to fold in and out, or the cover, not the pages, the cover. Okay, so then I want about at least a 1/2 inch. So there's a 1/2 inch. And here's more like 3/4 inch. But I'm gonna try to do my total here then would be 1, 2, 3, 4 inches wide. So I'm gonna snip this at 4 inches and rip it. I think this is gonna wrap all the way around. Now this is not straight on this edge, so I might need to do this twice. I need to rip once to straighten out the edge. There we go. There, see? Now we have a nice clean edge, much better. And then I will snip it again at 4 inches wide. 1, 2, 4. Okay. I'm gonna go just a teensy bit, like maybe 1/8 inch over. I tend to run out of enough fabric. Sometimes I have too much on the back or too little on the front, or those kinds of things. So I just want to make sure that I've got plenty. Okay. So it's going to do this, and I have enough to wrap around and fold over. It's going to look really nice. So this is going to kind of land right in the middle. Oh yeah, I do like that. I like that a lot. Okay, let's put the cover together. And what I'm going to do is just flip these two around and line them up. We're going to leave about 1/8 of an inch of space, and luckily we have the grid on our mat to make sure everything's square. I'm standing up, but the table is way low. Okay. Let me tell you, when I was first doing this, it was very, very precise. I was like measuring, measuring to the extra 1/16 of an inch. I just need it all to line up on this grid and be square. That's really all I want, and then not to bump it or bump the camera with my head while I do this. Okay, very good. So now I'm going to give you a second look at this really fast. This is, like I said, this is what I ordered on Amazon. I can put a link. I'm no longer an Amazon affiliate because it took me like almost 2 years to earn $10. So it's a lot of work for no gain. So I discontinued being an affiliate, but I can at least give you the link and then you can go find it for yourself if you want it. I don't remember how much it was. It wasn't cheap, but it wasn't horrible either. Okay, so I'm just going to lay this down here. And then, I don't know if it will rip or not, but I'm just going to cut it. And I'm using these scissors that are Teflon so they don't stick to the tape. There are other brands besides the Tim Holtz brand. So if you don't want to spend the money on Tim Holtz, there are other Teflon type scissors out there. And you can use one of those, but they are nice for not sticking to the adhesives. Now, so what I might do, let's try tearing it. There we go, before we lay it down. Hey, that works. Okay, just gonna do that. That's about 1,000% easier than using the Tyvek and double-sided tape. Okay, so now I'm going to go around to this side and do the same thing. Wow, let me tell you, that is 1,000% more simple. I have watched people use just plain clear packing tape to do this, and I've watched them use medical tape that they had on hand. So I guess you really could use anything. We're having a nice week. I've got my older daughter and her husband here visiting for a few days, and she just got back from a trip to Hawaii. Her mother-in-law very thoughtfully treated her and her 2 sisters-in-law to a trip to Hawaii. And so they had a nice little week there, and then Katie just came over here from Hawaii. And then her husband, Sam, he's on a business trip, so they're flying him in to land here instead of flying him back home. So that's nice. Ugh. And then in July, we're going to go see them. We have a couple things planned in July, so I'm going to be busy. Let's see. Kind of nice, this tears so easily. Better than some fabric tapes. I guess I just want to make sure that it doesn't stick up and then just be sticky, you know? We want to kind of make sure these lay down enough to, well, I guess it won't matter if I'm wrapping fabric around it, but still, don't want it too lumpy or anything. Let's go do these ends. I don't know if I've ever actually put a spine on camera or not. I don't recall. And last one. I'm just trying to trim it as close to this board as I can, the cover. Nice. Wow, that is like a dream. that. You see what I'm doing? Yeah. Oh, so anyway, we're just having a nice little low-key week. Just hanging out and visiting. Nothing super intense that we have to do, really. Now, it does not cover all the white, but you know what? I'm not worried about that because we're going to put some trim. Yeah, that's fine. That is fine. So, what I want to do is get out my fabric glue, which I'm using the 3-in-1. I like it. Whoop! And I'm taking the entire cap off, not just the little red part. Okay. So I like it because it does more than just fabric. It also really helps with like plastic, and if you have those little wood pieces. Plastic, paper, fabric, and some other stuff. Probably poster board. I was buying for a while there that foam and poster board that they had at Dollar Tree, but then they stopped supplying it, so I haven't found it for, I don't know, probably 6 months, unfortunately. Now, I don't know if that's just because Beacon got wise to the fact we were buying that instead of these bigger bottles of their glue, or if they, like, maybe the materials were not available, since we keep having supplies and shortages of this, that, and the other thing. You know, I feel like supply chain issues should have all been ironed out by now. Just saying. Just saying, world. I'm not taking that as an answer anymore. I'm going to also spread this out with my finger. I'm doing a lot because it's not really coming out. There's not tons of it coming out at any one time. So I'm going to spread it with my finger so it's not bumpy, and then it helps it to not be all shiny showing through the material, through the fabric. And then I'm going to lay this down. Really pretty, and I'm just going to kind of center it so the prettiest part of this pattern shows. I kind of like that blue pansy, purpley blue pansy being up just a bit higher on the spine. Not that it matters, that's just my preference. Gosh, that was probably the easiest spine I've ever put together. Now I'm going to run my fingers down these creases here where the fold is going to happen. Nice. Should have thought about trim. I didn't. I'll have to find a coordinating trim. I'll put that on later because all the trim is upstairs. No, it's not. It's down here. Boy, I'm getting really confused because some of my supplies, you know, are still stashed upstairs, and some have made their way down here, but there's not too much of an overlap there either. That's nice. I'm gonna just, how much did I have? Yeah, I'm just gonna trim about, what's that, just about an inch off, so there's not so much bulkiness. Yes, we're throwing that scrap away. Old me would have been tempted to save it. It's lovely, it's a lovely scrap, but we don't need it. I have plenty of this fabric, and I can always cut another piece if I want it. It's really refreshing. So I finally made my donation to the Creative Reuse store. I'm still gathering other supplies to donate, and really refreshing to narrow it down to just the stuff I really like, you know, the stuff I really like using and playing with. It's also sometimes hard for me to remember if I still have an item or not. Like, oh, I want to get XYZ, and then I'm like, no, wait, I got rid of that. You guys ever do that? Get rid of stuff and forget that you got rid of it? Now, one thing I did do with the spine too that I don't typically do is I tried to match how thick this piece of chipboard is to the thickness of the cover, so it was a little more uniform. I don't usually worry about that, but for some reason, it seemed important today. So that's what I did. Yeah, there we go. Normally I trim these out with like rickrack or lace. So I don't know what I'm gonna use on this because I don't feel like this is a rickrack or lace kind of journal. I got a thread stuck to me. Here we go. Let's spread that out. I hate having glue on my fingers, so I always just wipe it off. Wipe it off on the thing I'm gluing. There we go. Gosh, I am not kidding. The ease with which I just did that and how fast it went together was miraculous. Usually it takes me a lot longer because I'm trying to make sure nothing shifts and all of that. So I do need to put a little more glue under this flap. Let's do that really fast then. We'll just make sure it's good and glued down. And then it doesn't matter that there's a little seam here because this will get covered up by the signatures. Look at that. Now I need to let it dry before I do too much else. Look at this. So nice. Oh, I love it. Okay, so like I said, I'll find something. I almost feel like I want a gold trim of some sort. It may end up being lace, but pick up this gold, or I may want to pick out some green. I could do one on the outside and one on the inside, so yeah, because I have to cover all of this on both sides. So we'll see what I find when I go through my stash, but for right now I'm going to set this up like this and just let it dry. Gosh, that is the way to go. Use that book tape. That's awesome. Okay, the next thing I would really like to do is to figure out how to take these things apart because I had wanted to make a pocket or two out of them in this journal, but I need to take the book apart. Look at it. Aren't these pretty? I love the texture on these. Like that one would be perfect. I brought down two. Ooh, look at that one. I'm going to put a paper clip on that. I brought these down so I could test them out with what's in the journals. That's cool. That'd make a really cool pocket on the inside cover. I wasn't quite sure where I want to use them, but if I had that on the cover, look at that. I mean, this is going kind of girly, which I was trying to avoid, but also I don't think it's so far out there that she wouldn't like it. I think it would be kind of cool. Because she likes texture. Oh, here's some, that's the wrong shade now. That's olive, and I've got too much of that kind of a teal green. I wish it had that shade in here, but it doesn't. These are all neutrals. And there's some aqua. Is there another one under there? Yes. Okay. Look at that. That's really cool. Okay, let's put a paper clip on that one too. Maybe I'll like that one better. Who knows? Anyway, let's figure out how to get this apart. Okay, I grabbed my little tools. I got this little jewelry making kit, because I really did want to learn how to make charm dangles, which I haven't learned. But the tools in it are very handy, especially when you're taking apart books. So depending on what you're doing, you can also use all of these pliers for other things, like pulling out staples and things. So let's see how to get these apart, because I honestly don't know. I don't think I've ever actually seen anyone take them apart. These are just fabric sample books. These were being given out free one time at the Creative Reader Store. Okay, I am just, that wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. Oh, staples. Okay. Okay, it's almost like taking apart a little golden book. Let's see. Well, there's nice bit of space under there, but this one still has the cardboard stuck under it. Start with this one, see what we get, without injuring ourselves or needing a tetanus shot or anything. This may jiggle the camera. pumpkin. Come on out. I wonder, do they go all the way through to the back? Maybe I should check that. If they do, then I'm gonna have to, oh, see? There's another one on the back. So I'm guessing the little prongs meet in the middle somewhere. This is fun. Let's just destroy things on camera. Why not? And it's recyclable, so recycle that. And I'll take care of that later. Let's see. Now, look at there's glue and all kinds of stuff up here. I wonder, does it meet in the middle? Have any of you guys ever taken one of these apart? Anyone? Anyone? Speak up. Ugh. Let me know if you have. Is there a trick? Okay, I keep getting the paper stuck underneath these staples. Hey man, in for a penny, in for a pound. Here we go. I'm just going for it. Okay. There's this piece too. I mean, I feel like there's some, shouldn't there be like a middle where it meets somehow? I need the strength of Hercules to do this. Or Samson. Huh. Okay. Come on, buddy. Come apart for me. I'm gonna wrestle with this for a sec, and then I'm gonna come back. Okay, well that was a very quick, like 2 seconds off camera. I just turned this like this, and now the staple is coming out. Come on. Wow, that is thick. Well, now it doesn't want to do it for me. So I just gave it a twist of the wrist, and it just kind of started pulling out. Where's the end of you? Let's see if I can get this other one to do that. Let's get that cardboard out. Yay. Okay. If I can get at least one end out, then come on. Okay, you don't want to twist that way. Let's twist the other way then. Maybe I need to turn the camera off again. Maybe it's just shy. Okay. A lot of groaning and grunting happening here. Okay, it's budging. It's like the Winnie the Pooh movie where he gets stuck in Rabbit's house. He gets stuck in Rabbit's hole. They have to starve him so that he'll move. The rabbit says, he bidged, he bodged, he booged. That always made me laugh. Okay, danger lurking in these staples. I think that broke off. Oh, great. Another opportunity to injure myself presents itself. Okay, come on. Oh, there it goes. Nice. Okay. What about you? Wow, these are tougher than even like those old children's readers. Which I got a comment on one of my videos. She deleted it later when I responded, but she was reaming me for using old vintage children's readers and taking them apart and telling me about how she used them to help people, adults or people who didn't have English skills, learn to read. And I was like, that's great, but you know, the books that I use, I don't use ones in pristine condition. She got kind of insulting. So anyway, I responded. I was like, you know, I was willing to just kind of let your comment slide, but you got really rude there at the end. So here's my response. I just said, she basically called us kindergartners using glue and paste to tear up books. And I was like, okay, you make some good points. We have discussed it, but you didn't even bother to find out what I do. You just saw that I was taking apart a children's reader and left your comment. She did come back and read it though, and she deleted it, so It's like, you know, we choose to take these apart. We choose to rescue books that are going to the trash. So we're making good, beautiful things out of them. And I'm glad that you're teaching people to read. I don't touch the pristine books for that very reason, because I know I'm going to take them apart. But can't we both use these readers for noble purposes and to do good things, you know? Anyway, yeah. So I'm glad. I mean, I went and watched her channel for a little bit, and she seems like a nice enough lady, but I was like, you didn't even learn about what I'm doing before you started ripping into me. Okay. Look at that. Now, how do I get the one I want? Hold on, I think I'm about to be interrupted. I was wrong. Okay. Where are the two that I put paper clips on? Here we go. Now, how do I have to like brace this against my body and pull it apart. Oh no, is there another staple? Oh, I saw the staples from this side. Okay. This might not be the best tool. So I thought I was grabbing the needle nose pliers, but this one has a groove for like, I think wrapping wire. So let me see if I can grab the other pair. I've got to open all these up to see what I've got. Yeah, that's what I thought I was getting with these, needle nose pliers. Let's get the cardboard out of there, maybe. Yeah, so busy day. We gotta go to the airport and pick up Sam right at rush hour. Thank you. Thank you to the person who scheduled that. And let's see. I don't know if I can get that out of there. I don't want to hurt myself. There we go. Okay. Well, this is an experience. Huh, cool. Very fun. About time I use these too. I've had these for a while. Ow, I keep pinching my thumb in the spring there. That's not enjoyable. Okay, come on. Maybe if I push it from the other side. There it goes. Yeah, okay. Now, adopting our twist and roll wrist technique. Let's see what we can do. Last one. I don't suppose you'd be nice to me and just pull right out, would you? Since all your friends are gone, there's no need to hang around. Okay. Holy cow. That last one was putting up a good fight. Didn't need to, but it wanted to. This is really plasticky plastic. Otherwise I'd save it for like a pocket or something, but it's too plasticky. Feels weird. I don't like it. Okay, so now, again, where are my paper clips? Here we go. After all of that, it's just gonna, there we go. Oh, I had two of them. Here's the one I want. I'm gonna set that aside. Let's go find the aqua colored one. There's no rule that says we can't, see, here's a different aqua colored one. No rule that says we can't use more than one, like one on the cover and one somewhere else inside, or wrap around a page. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Hey, where are you? There we go. This one doesn't have as much, it's got some texture, but not Not as much as like that one. Oh, there's the dog. Okie doke. We got him out. We accomplished it. Nice. Okay. Let's call this a video. That was fun. It's possible after all of that, maybe I just need to cut these out. I don't know. You still have to take off this part though, this header. So anyway, that was exhausting, but there are some really cool patterns in here. And once I, see, like here's a tall skinny pocket. So once I get them apart, then I can use more of these pages. I just haven't. That one's really cool too. Look at that with the greens and the golds. Okay. I'm gonna mark both of those. Those are neat. So if I decide to do a smaller pocket instead of a bigger pocket, that's fine. Okay, we're done. Let's call it a wrap. You summarize. We deconstructed one of these fabric sample books. My hand is sore now. We made a spine for our cover. Isn't that nice? Oops, got a thread. And like I said, I will go off camera and find some trim to put here. But I think that turned out great. And I would say that book tape, man, that was a game changer. So much easier than the Tyvek and everything else. That just went on really fast. So that's it for today. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you have a great week and an upcoming weekend. We only have a couple more sessions on this journal. I will sew the signatures in off camera, of course. Until next time, be inspired and do something creative today. And I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye now.